Hello, hello, all my Egypt mummy loving friends out there in YouTube land. I have a second update on my Egyptian mummy curse book that I'm creating. I've got at least 17 new pages to show you and a few other things. I picked up this book at Savers the other day, and I did a very quick flip through in the video that I posted right before this one, but I want to do a more in-depth one here for anybody who's really into Egypt. So this is like a brand new book. It's from the Nature Company Discoveries Library, and it's a Time Life book. And let's see, we looked at the date. It's not that old. I'm not seeing it here now. Published. I thought there was a date somewhere. I thought we saw a date. It's, 1995, 1996. So this might be available on Amazon, or you could definitely find it on any of the other, like eBay or the book sellers. I got this for $3.49. I don't know if you could find it for that great of a price unless you find it at one of your used bookstores. So I'm going to go through this for you. This is a big book. Let me get my ruler, and we've got, it's about 12 by 9.5. This is a very big book. So look at this. Like, there's going to be a lot of fussy cutting going on from these pages. And I've already asked my husband about it, and he said he's glad to do it for me. So I will just rough cut these out, and then he'll do the fussy cutting for me, which will help me be able to do more actual pages if I don't have to do the cutting, which is really hard on my hands. Beautiful map. Now, if you look, my book is not this big. So like I would have to cut some of this off to fit, but most of the stuff will fit in my book. Love that. That's beautiful. And it's got lots of really good information. Probably won't use any of these pages. Then we get to here. I'm already thinking ahead in my book about where I'm going to put this, and I want to split this over 2 pages. It's absolutely gorgeous. More fussy cutting needed. Love this one right here. This is beautiful. Then this is one of my favorites. Oh my goodness. I want this. I got to have that cut out. And then look at these. Oh my goodness. Will this one even fit in my book? No. This one will. And this. So definitely going to use those. I love this mummy making one. And it talks about all kinds of stuff about the priest burned incense to sweeten the air while they prepared the mummy, working as quickly as possible because of the smell of the decaying body. So lots of interesting, maybe kind of creepy information. This is very pretty. Now, what I love about this book most of all is that it's matte. I don't know if you can see. Well, it's probably considered semi-gloss. It's not total matte. But those other 2 books that I first got, they're much more glossy. This is beautiful. Love this. This can be cut out. I'm not sure if I can use that or not. Oh, I love this. I might even include this. I like this so much. It talks about how the pyramids are set out to be in the same setting as the stars in Orion's belt. I thought that was very interesting. Oh, this is a pullout. It's so huge. Oh, I'm going to have to use that. And then here we go. I won't be able to use all this. I want that. And I'm going to read all this stuff too. And I'll probably include some of this in my book, some of the information, like the little ones. Love this. Want this. Love this also. This is where the sun comes in and or sun comes through and hits. Okay, these I probably won't use. You never know though. I love these, even though they look a little bit, I don't know, too, I don't know how you say it. Not really hand-drawn. They kind of look computerized. But I still love this and how she's looking in the mirror. So that will fit in my book. And I'm probably going to use that. Don't know if I'll use that one. But I kind of like the way they're back to back. They could be on separate pages. Writing and education, healing. Oops, I'm out of frame. Healing and magic. What the mummies can tell us. Ooh, I should put that in my book. Making things. Artist at work, another mummy, a woman mummy, which is very interesting. There wasn't very many of those. I haven't put anything in my book about the cat goddess, and I want some of that in there. This stuff, I don't know. I probably won't use this. I like the thing about Cleopatra, but that's kind of getting way past. Oh, and then this one, the mummies in the museum. Oh my gosh, I love this. Of course, it's too big to go in my book. Like, that could be cut off a little bit. That will fit. Just absolutely love this. And then here we've just got dynasties, glossary explaining all the words, and the index. So this was a fabulous, fabulous find. Absolutely love this. Now, if you watched my other short video about the books and magazines that I picked up at Savers the other day, you will have seen this book. And I've already cut this book up. That's why I made that short video, because I wanted to start cutting these books up. So I'm not going to flip through that book. You can watch that flip through there if you want. But this was in the inside cover. And this was the mummy one, and then the Cyclops. It all fit together like this. So you can see I cut this. Now I've still got the Cyclops arm over here, so this is going to be covered. I'm going to have a little tab here that says pull, so we can pull that open. And this, I'm going to create something to go over that. Now it was very easy to get this off of here. This is an old book from the 60s or 70s. And yeah, or 80s actually. And then if you remember, if you watch that video, when I turned the book over to show it was 99 cents, there was a picture of this mummy on here. And I was like, I have to have that. Now, I know books because I've cut up thousands of books when I had my Etsy shop. So I know the kind of book that you can cut and peel a picture off of. Not every book is that way, but the older ones, you can just tell that they're just over cardboard. And so what you need a heavy duty X-Acto blade. I tried my smaller one and it didn't cut deep enough. You have to cut deep enough to get through this top layer, and then you can just peel it off. And I peeled it off, I fussy cutted it, and then I ran it through my hand crank sticker machine, and I made it into a sticker. And I'm going to find someplace special in my book to put that. So I just wanted to show that. All right, and then we're going to get to the fun stuff, the pages in my book that I've done. So let's move this out of the way, and I can zoom in. Okay, I've started decorating the cover. I guess I can't zoom in that much, really. That's about right. Let's move everything out of the way here. I don't like messiness. Now, I used my tape that I got at Michael's, Enter If You Dare. I thought that was perfect for the cover. I stuck that on the outside. There was a sticker here. I didn't think I could peel it off, or I thought it would leave a really bad imprint, but it didn't. So this is picture that I printed out. Now I printed out another one that was much better. So this is the one I'm using in the book, but I had this extra one and I decided to put it on the cover. Now this book, this picture was out of a book, probably a Time Life book maybe, on archaeology. And I sold it in one of my archaeology kits. So I went back through all the covers of my kits in my Pinterest account. I have over 2,000 kits pinned. You can't follow the link because I don't have my Etsy shop anymore, but you can still look at the covers. So I went through probably 1,000 before I found the kit that had this picture in it. And I just knew that because I loved it so much, I would have put it on the front of the kit, and it was there. I was able to screenshot it, crop it, print it out. So I got a beautiful print, and I just loved, because very seldom do you find girls with archaeology from pictures back in the 60s and 70s. So I absolutely love this. I wrote a little story about it, and she's kind of like, I always wanted to be an archaeologist, so I had to have this. So I worked really hard to get this picture, so it's going to have a special place in my book. But the one that came out kind of dark and cut her off at the bottom, I decided to just use on the front of my book. All right, after that long explanation, let's get to it. Now, I'm not going to go over the pages that I've already showed you, except very quickly to show you that I did add some things. Remember, I talked about adding stamps, and I did that. The white ink is not permanent. It took forever to dry, and it didn't come out really white, but it worked. All right, this page I had skipped. In the last video, it wasn't done, and I only just finished it. At first, my idea was I was going to cover up both of these pages because pink just doesn't go with mummies. And I just couldn't figure out how to use it. And plus, I didn't want to use the car because, well, they're not driving cars out to the pyramid digs. So I was like, I don't want to use it. Well, then as I went on playing around with it, I decided I'm going to use it. I'm just going to cover up the car. So I was doing all kinds of things, putting things here and here, trying to cover up the car. And then I realized my book, the theme is kind of around in the early 20s where they discovered some of the famous pharaohs. So I decided, well, they had cars back then and they had cars that looked like that. So I decided to leave the car. So then I started looking for things that would go with the pink. There was no pink in this picture, so I put a puffy sticker on it. And then down here, I cut pyramids out, and then I cut this out and put pink ink on it, and then I did some pink washi tape here and over here to kind of tie it all in. And then on this side, this page took me forever. Some of my pages just come together, bam, and they're done in 5 minutes. I worked on this for days and days. This picture of the mummy is kind of pink, so it worked great. I used one of my stamps, Condemned. I would like a stamp here that said to live or to die, but I don't have anything like that. And then this was cut out, and I just did some pink ink. I'm not really crazy about the color of the pink ink, but it's the only pink ink I had, and I just went with it. This book is for fun. It's not, it's not for perfection to go out and say, well, I got to go buy an ink pad that has a better pink. Like, no, I'm just doing this for fun, so it's okay. Then I pulled out the stamp of this lady who looks like she's from back in the 20s. And so I stamped her there. I stamped my Dear Diary stamp, and I smeared the ink a little bit. And you know what? That's okay, because if you were really writing in your diary way back then, you probably would smear your ink because you're probably using a fountain pen. So then I decided to leave this blank, and I wanted to write in it. And I wasn't sure what I was going to write, But then I came up with this idea about how about I write a story to go with my book. So I've always wanted to be an archaeologist. So guess what? I am the archaeologist in this story. So I started making up the story. I only wrote a little bit here, and I can read it to you. Excuse me. But it's very, very hard for me to write with my arthritis, and my writing looks terrible. But I try to reserve my writing for a card to my daughter once a week, and then brief sentences in my planner. So I decided to go ahead and write this, but from here on out, I'm going to have to voice text it and print it out because I just can't do that. So let me read to you what it says. It says, Dear Diary, I have been traveling for weeks from America to the glorious land of Egypt. I just arrived in Cairo this evening, where I will be staying for a few days to rest up from the long journey. I must sign off for now as I'm going to meet the pilot who will be flying deep into the land of the pharaohs. I be flying me deep into the land of the pharaohs. So I left out the word me. I'm going to have to add that. And I just grabbed a date and just made it up. Okay, so that starts my story. I don't know if I'm going to have a name, if I'm going to change my name for the story, but that pilot is going to be very handsome, and it's going to be my husband. So I've got this story all figured out in my mind. So then, still wanting to do something else here is just kind of blank. I decided to take one of my maps, fold it up, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this because it's so tiny, but I drew the little lines like you are here and down here, and then here X marks the spot. So this is my secret map, and I used stickers. Let's see, I used clear stickers. I think these are Amy Tangerine. Then I used those thicker map stickers, and then I did a stamp. So secret map enclosed. All right, that was a very long explanation. I won't be doing that on all the pictures. Okay, these you've already seen. I still want to add something to this, but I just haven't come up with that yet. Okay, this is where I left off. So these are starting my new ones in order, and I'm trying to do this book in order, but I've already started skipping some pages because some of them are just too hard to work with. I should add a date here. This was very simple. This is washi tape, a sticker. The rest are just cut out. My husband fussy cutted this for me. I did not bother. I would have done, back when I fussy cutted, I would have used an X-Acto blade and cut all that out. But I wasn't going to make him do that. So these are just cut out pictures from those two books that I got at first. This is a page I absolutely love. Everything went with the colors so easy. It just came together. I used ink to color that. It was white. This is a smash sticker, and I thought it was perfect for that page. And then over here, this is actually a cloth iron-on patch, and I just glued that down on there. Okay, the next one. This one took a lot of work, but I love it. Beware of, that's a stamp. Beware of the mummy's curse. Moments soaked in. I just love the way it came together. The color, the background is amazing. This is a newer paper that I got from, maybe Journal Say or AliExpress, and it's just these burnt maps. And I tore it, and I just had the one of Africa there. And these, let me go get this and show it to you. These are pictures, this, and this, out of a book. And here's the book. And there's pictures on both sides. And oh, and here's this one. Okay. So these are the ones I use. Well, I still wanted to use the ones on the back. And I don't know, maybe I've already talked about this. So if you're getting repeat information, I'm sorry, but I cannot remember what I've already said. So I hadn't done these pages yet, so I don't think so, but anyway, so I decided to print them out so I could have the back sides, but then I decided to print them out on brown paper. And let me go get this. I'm going to take this off of here. You can't get this anymore. I went to Amazon, can't find it. This is actually my husband's paper. I've used almost all of it in the last like couple months. So I've been using this for my Michelangelo book where I'm printing out my poems, and that's what it really should be saved for. But now I've been using it for this book. So I'm going to have to find something else, some parchment tone paper. Anyway, so I printed it out on there, and this is how it came out. So actually, I thought I was prepared. I always think I'm prepared. Here's how it looks. So let me find this one. Okay, so here's how it looks on white. There's how it looks on the brown paper. It just makes it look so much better, older, and it just looks so much better than the white for me anyway, especially on this colored paper. So instead of just copying the one side, I copied both sides because I loved it so much on this paper. So, and then I actually went back and did another one so I could have two of these because I stamped something here and it didn't stamp right and I didn't like the way it looked. And I'm like, what am I going to put there? And I'm like, what better than another part of this guy's face? So that wasn't planned. And I was actually able to lift up the edge of this, even though it was already glued down, and slide that under there. So this page was super fun to put together. This has been inked because this had a white border. This is the washi tape that I bought that I showed. And then this is another one of those. And then I put a stamp on there. And this also has turned out to be one of my favorite pages. All right, let's see what's next. Oh, I like this one too. Now this one, if you remember from my Ollie's haul, my 17-pound haul video, which really was 19 pounds because those two Egyptian books were not weighed in that original weighing. So these are those gold letters that I got and that I wish I bought more. It goes so perfect. This was the background was red, and I had a picture that was red background, so it worked perfect. I did a little stamp that said "You are here." It's very tiny. And then these are new stickers that I got at Target. And I love mixing new stickers with vintage images. So both of these new. Love that. And I feel like that got smeared a little bit, but oh well. It is permanent ink, so should be okay. And then on this side, again, added a very recognizable like scrapbook sticker in with this. And I like the way it goes. The colors mix. Here is a stamp. And this is also a sticker from a magazine. So I love mixing the two. It's lots of fun and it gives you so much more freedom. Instead of saying, well, since I'm using vintage ephemera, that's all I need to use. No, you can use new things with old things and it works great. All right, on to the next one. This one was very easy, very simple. Again, vintage. This is a sticker. This is that washi tape from Michael's. And then this is a smash little tab that I chose just because the green matched and the back of the base page was green. And then I just picked a date from 1922 and wrote that on there. Okay, then here's the next one. This one was a lot of fun. This is from a travel book. It's really big and fat. I don't know what it's called. It might be a TWA one. I think it's cut off. It's cut. Yeah, it's TWA. It's one from like the 60s. This is a newer sticker, but I thought it worked great with these ladies here. And her eyes are like yellow, which matches this, which matches that. It was so easy to match stuff. It just came together. Then this side, this is one of the pictures that I printed out that I know I talked about in my other video. And I added that. And then an image that I got. And then these I used to put in all my monster kits because Universal made all the monster movies. And so I saved some of those for myself. So I added that. This is a mummy hand that was white that my husband fussy cutted, and I used brown ink. This was stamped, imagine yourself here, in brown ink. And then I put a sticker on here that says breathe. And if I find a better one, I'll remove that and put it on. But for now, I'm happy with it. All right. So then here we have more of the stickers from these pages. Stickers. Images. Oh. I don't know. My mind isn't working very well today. I'm saying the wrong words for the wrong things. Just cut out some stuff. This is a smash ticket, little tab thing. This picture was in the background. I was going to cover it up, but I decided to leave it because if they were, I don't know when the phonograph was invented, but I know they had music back then. So I just left it in there. And then this is a Trader Joe's sticker that they did at Halloween. They did a bunch of different monsters and they did the mummy. So just for fun, I added that on there. So again, a mix of old and new and just fun. This page took me the longest. It's probably the simplest page, but the hardest page for me. This writing was on the back side of this. So I did copy it out, and then I copied it onto white. Didn't like it, so then I copied the white one onto tan paper. Then I tore these out. You can't really read them. They're just bits and pieces because I didn't have enough room to fit it all across. So, and then I put some down here. I love this picture. On hindsight, I would have printed out this writing, stuck it down, and then stuck this on top of it. But I didn't do it. So, and this was already on the page. So, and green. I love it. Okay, now this is the next page, and this is another pink one. And I did one pink double spread. I don't have any other pink mummy stuff. So this is going to be one of those pages that I cover almost all of it because I'm just not doing that. So I skipped that. And then this one is the next one, another one that has to be covered. So I can use parts of this. I don't need to cover all of this. So I don't know that I can use that. And again, the pink, but this one is the next one coming up. I'll use that in the next one. And then I did one more page, double page spread. So this is a movie that I've never watched before until this year because it's a Hammer film. I don't watch the newer movies from the 60s, 70s horror movies because I don't like blood and gore. When they're in color, I don't know. I love black and white movies, so they're just kind of campy, and I just turn it to black and white, and it's great. So that's what I did with this movie. I learned how to do that. It's very simple on the iPad. If anybody wants to know, just let me know and I'll show you. It's like 3 steps, and you turn your whole iPad to black and white so you can watch the movie in black and white, and then you just go in and put it back to color. So I tried it with this movie and I loved it. I think the movie was from 63 and it's called The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. I went, let's see. I had pictures from this movie in my kits. So I went back to my kits, cropped them, printed them out. So those are 2 from the movie. And this is the movie poster. And if you can see here, there is writing underneath here. And I decided instead of covering it all up, I just left a little bit. You can't really tell what the letters are. And I thought it just blended in with his face and body. And I thought it looked really cool. This is just washi tape. This is washi tape. This is washi tape. Now, I tried stamping directly on the page. It didn't come out well. I didn't like it. And so then I decided, well, I just stamp it on a piece of paper. Then I'm like, no. So I had those tags. I brought them out. And I'll bring this up close. This is actually a stamp of people standing in line at a movie theater ticket box. You know, where they used to have them outside outside of the theater. And then I have a stamp that says viewer discretion advised, which I thought was perfect. And then I was like, oh, I don't have very many ribbon. Well, guess what? I have that medical gauze that I'm using for my mummy heads, and that's in an upcoming video. So I decided I made a little bit of that, and I used that for the ribbon. And I like that one part's kind of hanging down there. So when the book is closed, it's hanging out. So that's all I've done so far. So I've got almost 30 pages done, and there is another 50 left, I think, or close to that. I counted. So I have lots and lots to do yet, and lots that I'll have to share with you. But I'll be sharing some other stuff before I do another update on this. So the people who are interested in this can watch it. And even if mummies aren't your thing or Egypt isn't your thing, I hope you can get ideas and inspiration from what I'm doing, because you don't have to do a Halloween book, a movie book, a fall book. You could be doing any kind of a book, but I just hope it gives you some inspiration and some ideas. So I think that's everything, except in my first video, I shared with you some stamps that I'd pulled out from my collection. And since then, I pulled out a whole slew more. And that is where I found that stamp, which was so perfect for this book. So I'm going to just show you a few of the ones that I pulled out that I'm going to use, or maybe use. And then I will say goodbye and get busy working again. Some of these I've already put on blocks. This one says fragile. It's kind of hard to read. And then this one says warning. Okay, these come on a huge sheet. I have it right over here. I'll grab it. I think this is Tim Holtz. I bought this like 15 years ago or more. And I was just going to leave them all on here, but it's kind of overwhelming. So I pulled off the ones that I thought I wanted to use. And I put those on blocks. And then I also did this. I stuck the ones I wanted inside one of my stamp trays. And then you turn it over and you can read them. Inquire within. I kind of wanted that like by a sarcophagus. Keep closed. I want that by one. Enter at your own risk. I already used that one. Might use it again. Proof, beware of. Already used that one. Field notes. Love, fate, and destiny. Kind of want to use that when the mummy has a girl, because he's always falling in love with a girl. Let's see. It's probably hard to see these. Okay. Over here. All right. I don't really know if you can read them. I'll read them to you in case you can't. Handle with care. Another one I thought was good for mummies. Exhibit A, evidence. This says, oh, I can't even read it. I'll have to read it over here. Officially inspected by. So I thought that was cool. This one says my journal, a true story, believe it or not. And this is a plant. This is hard to see, but it's rosemary, and they used rosemary to preserve the mummies. All right, so I've got those, and then here's a bunch more that I've pulled. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to use every one of these, but I liked this with the plain. And then I like this received. I've already used the condemned. I like destination, this side up, shipment collect. There's field labels. A lot of numbers. I thought those could be used. Specimen. Oh, orders attended to day and night. That could be used for taking the mummies to the museum. Here's more letter stamps. You know what? I need to go get a piece of white paper. Sorry, I should have done that at the beginning. This is just airmail stuff. Special delivery. I thought maybe that could be used. Handle with care. And this one has white backing. This is a really small one, but I like how like the original isn't totally stamped. It just has a very organic feel to it. I like that. This one I pulled out because I like the hand with the magnifying glass. Whoops. This one, I want to use the Explorer and maybe the Let's Go. The plain is too modern. Here's some more airmail ones. These might have been included in the other ones. No, I don't know. Yes, because I think this. Yes, this one I already showed because this one has the Cairo on it. Okay, I already showed that one before. And then I pulled out this lace one because I thought, well, I might use that for some background. Wow, that's really hard to see with the light coming in. Sorry. Okay, and then I still have a couple more. I'm going to go grab them. Okay, this is a Tim Holtz airplane. More that era of the 20s. So I pulled that out. And then I don't know if I showed this one, but this is another like 20s girl with a brownie camera. So I thought that worked perfect. So I think that's all I have to show you. Let me just open up to one of these while I say goodbye. The sun is starting to come in on my desk. Stuff is falling off. I have so much stuff piled everywhere. It's crazy. Okay, guys. I think that's all I have to share with you about the update in my book. And I got to do some videos that aren't about this for all the people who don't care about my mummy book. But for those of you who are interested in it, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.